For this video log, I am going to be talking about the school board meeting that I went to at Sam Houston on the 15th of November at 5 o'clock. And first I'm going to say that it wasn't as boring as I expected it to be. I really walked into it thinking that we were just going to sit there and just listen to a bunch of people talk and kind of like in a courtroom when you're on jury duty where you just kind of sit there and listen. But it ended up being completely different. I was actually pretty intrigued in this one. At first I didn't understand because they're going over the all in favor say aye, and they kept slamming a piece of wood with javelin, and I didn't quite understand what they were saying aye to. They did stop and talk about one proposal on taking away $10,000 or so away from teacher pay, not individual, but just a budget cut, and all of them pretty much said that that wasn't an option, and they vetoed that one. So that was the only one that I feel like they all agreed on, but they all said no to at the same time. So that was pretty interesting to see the process. It was really quick, and then they ended up talking about the Maryville High School football game after. So they just kind of wanted to get that one out of the way. And then the next part of the school board meeting was actually a presentation on the STEM program at Sam Houston. Now that was pretty interesting because I just came from the symposium at Maryville College when they conducted this STEM, and I went to a presentation for Heritage High School STEM program, and it was really nice to see a STEM program being presented now in elementary school, now having that comparison with the high school. And it was really intriguing how they got all the teachers involved with it, even the parents they had mentioned were coming in and volunteering their time, and the kids were really enjoying it. And we watched a video over some of the lesson plans that they had done with the kids within the STEM program. And one of it was kindergarten, and you couldn't even tell they were kindergartners. They were thinking and critically thinking at such a higher level than what you would expect. They were talking about building structures, and one kid was comparing a building having a stable structure if it's was like a foot of an elephant as compared to a draft foot that wouldn't have so much stability as a building. So a lot of critical thinking that went on there. And they went over different models of the STEM system, and they talked about how they've been including the English teachers, getting them to help with writing and getting incorporated with their own curriculum with the textbooks, talking about how the kids were actually enjoying science, and it seemed like a game every time they walked into the STEM room, because they have its own room, its own facility. And one of the teachers actually graduated from Maryville College, and she's the one that's kind of running the whole program, the system. So that was really interesting to see. So after the short STEM presentation, they talked about pretty much saying thank you from all the Maryville City schools, because I guess it was the last meeting that one of these presenters was going to be at. And so every school in Maryville City did a thank you video, and they all kind of combined it, elementary through high school, and they gave a quick little presentation, and then the meeting was adjourned. And it only took about an hour. The STEM presentation took about 30 minutes. Again, when it came to the all in favor say aye stuff, that took about 10 minutes, but I didn't know what they were talking about half the time. They handed me out a sheet that kind of looked like legal paper. So that was just kind of over my head. I had no idea about that part, but it was pretty interesting when they were kind of talking about how they didn't want to take away money from the teachers, saying that Maryville City was a community, and that would not positively affect the school system at all. It would take away actually more than just teacher pay. It would take away some of the systems they had already put in place. And they talked about how it's community and how charter schools are still a negative topic because Maryville City is such a group and a community. So that was also interesting to hear. But other than that, the school board meeting was actually pretty cool. So